wanted to show off the new test configuration that I've acquired from Victor, who goes by the call sign DumbAss on PinSide. And this is the solenoid test part. There's a switches test part, and then the lamps test part. So let's boot it up. And I have Earthshaker ROMs in, and this is an X-Pin display. Victor will be making displays, or is making displays. But I booted it up and you can see that the lamp matrix is operating. Got everything I need right here. And we can put the game into test. And I forgot to have the auto up down in the right position. So let me get that in the right position. And normally you'd be hearing music, or you would when I advance by pressing the start button. You can advance through various options, but I don't have a soundboard or even sound ROMs in this board right now. So let me advance to the next test, which is display test. And if I press the auto up down button, it'll halt the display test just like in a real game. Next test you can do is sound test. I'll skip that. Lamp test, working properly, and you can do, or the next test on Earthshaker is a single lamp test. So just by pressing the start button, just like the credit button in a real game, you can advance through each of the individual lamps. Next test is Coil Test. And you can hear some clicking coming from this relay, and you'll see the A side and the red LEDs and the C side and the green LEDs, and it's going through all the first 8 multiplexed coils, and then it goes through coil 17 through 23, and then it's going to go through the special solenoids. And these two at the bottom are the flipper ground enables. Now this works in Earthshaker because we've got the special switch 12. Let me pull that off right now. And you'll see, although the AC select relay is firing, it's not firing the Seaside solenoids. And that's because Earthshaker requires the signal back, a closed loop signal, and it's switch column 1, row 2, to tell it that the AC select relay is working, and that prevents the game from firing a coil that it doesn't think it should be firing. So the next test is that you can pull off here is switch levels, and I'm going to go to switch edges, and this is a 2-button configuration for doing that. So I'm going to hold down the column 1 button, and you can walk through each of the rows, or I can hold down the row 1 button and we can walk through each of the columns. Next thing you can do is a Seaside test, and you can see it's operating just like it would in a game that's properly operating, and that's because we have the switch 12 jumped from the switch matrix over to the solenoid tester, and this relay is acting as the AC select relay. So that's pretty cool. I never was able to do that in my rig before. So there it is. It's much handier to have all of these controls right here at the front of my test rig right now, rather than the way I had them before. I'd hand built my own stuff before, and I'll keep all that because it's portable, and Victor is working on portable test articles. The hardest thing, or the most time consuming, none of this was hard if you just follow the instructions that Victor has in the manual, but the most time consuming was making all of these harnesses that connect everything up properly. And this is the switch harnesses. That's one thing I didn't show you. Let me get back into test. Oh, I'm still pressing my old test button. So if we get back into solenoid test, I can press these buttons here, and it's the same as grounding the input switch to the special solenoid. So that proves out that the special circuitry here in these 7402s is working correctly. Pretty cool. I really thank Victor for putting it together.